Okay, on my last video, I made a comment about putting in the distributor. And I said, you know, I'm not one of those that can just drop one in. Well, I am, but I don't. That probably doesn't make a lot of sense, but when I install an engine, the distributor is usually one of the last things that goes in, so I don't damage anything. On this particular truck, I've got enough room back there. Sorry, my tripod's getting hung up on things. Back there, I've got enough room to where I shouldn't have to worry about anything. Hitting the firewall with a distributor or anything like that. So, that being said, I'm going to tell you how to set one of these up real quick and easy. First thing, find out where number one's at. In this particular instance, see I've got it marked 1, and then I've got a line right there. Ignore that for the moment. On a GM distributor cap. Alright, let me try this again. GM distributor cap. See the bolt right here? Number 1 is usually right next to that, unless somebody has swapped them around. This is number 1. So you come straight down and you mark it. On the distributor is number 1. Then you can take the distributor cap off. On a Chevrolet, number 1 is the front cylinder on the driver's side. On a Ford, it's the front cylinder on the passenger side. That's on the 80s, 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s Fords. Same with the Chevys, even with the LS engines and stuff. Alright, first thing you got to know is which way does the distributor turn. It turns the opposite direction than what the vacuum advance points. Let me get you up above here. Vacuum advance is pointing this direction, so the rotation on this is going to be clockwise. It will advance the timing that way. The other thing you need to know is which direction does the rotation rotate? Does the crank rotate? In this case, it also turns clockwise. Let me back up there a little bit. So, first thing you do, put your finger over the hole. Not in it, over it. I've never seen anybody get their finger sucked into one, but I'm not going to say it can't happen. And you turn the engine over. I don't know if you could have just heard that, but probably not. Back that back up again. Quiet oil. Well, I can feel it. And that's all that matters. But usually, since this is a brand new engine, just been rebuilt, she's a little slow about picking it up on here. But you can feel it if it was cranking over a little bit faster. Or if I wasn't having to try to crank it and stick my finger over the hole. Alright, now, timing marks. You can see mine down there. What you want to do is on a standard engine, okay, right there is TDC. Right there, 0. On a stock engine, timing is about 12 degrees. This is not a stock engine, but it's not radical. This here is 16 degrees. So I'm going to bring it all the way up to 16. I know that the actual timing on this is going to sit about 30. Now at 16 degrees, we take and set the distributor. So you bring it back like that, and you notice now it's pointing straight at this. And you have to, depending upon your intake manifold, see this one? Sorry, let me back out. There's not a lot of room between here and here. That's all the advance I got. But I've already taken and moved this forward. That's all the further I can go. But if you look at the marks, where the mark is here, and where this is pointing clear here. Right about there was 0. That's 16. So about there is 32. So that means I want to be sitting right about there. But I'm going to start it out at about 16 degrees. And it should fire right off for me without a problem. And that's about all there is to it. Set your timing down here to what you want. If you want to set it at TDC, you can. I've done it plenty of times. Just make sure you've got enough adjustment back here. For this one, I'm setting it at 16. I can always back it off more without a problem. I got plenty of room to do that back there. Or I can get enough movement on the distributor to be able to, I can retard it, gobs, or I can advance it on up. So that is way past 30 degrees. That's probably about 45, 50 degrees. So that's about it. Make sure you get your gasket in there. When you put it in, I'm going to drop this in with the distributor in it, or at least I'm going to try. I got my mounting plate. I've just got this covered up so no bugs go down there. And it's been covered in plastic because my roof has a leak right over in here, but we never want to take chances. But know where number 1's at. Line the distributor up with number 1 and set your pointer at 10 or 12 or whatever, 6. Just check and see what your timing is supposed to be. And if you're putting a cam in it, it will take more advanced timing. That's why this one is starting at 16. And will probably end about 30. Okay, that is all there is to that. I didn't want to let people know, you can preset the timing. I just normally don't, for the simple fact of distributor's the last thing to put in. I've usually gone down up underneath, turned the crank over a couple times because I'm putting in the torque converter bolts and stuff, and then I end up coming back up here. I bring it up on compression. I get it approximately where it belongs. It might be at 0, it might be a 4, it might be a 6. And I drop the distributor in. And usually there's a little bit of playing around to get it to drop all the way down and stuff. But this is the main thing. This is the easiest way to do it if you can do it. And if you can't, the other thing I've done here, if you look at it right here, set line right there, I do that line to match that line. Because normally when this is pointing at number 1, excuse me, number 1 up here, it's not exactly a straight line, but it is pretty close. I find that they are usually pointed almost exactly at the back bolt on the carburetor. In this case, it's pointing just a little hair off of that. Now, if this is if it's going with a spread bore. With a square bore, it would be pointing directly at it, because it uses the outside hole. I think. I can't remember now. One way or the other. Nobody knows everything. Alright. That's it for this. The easiest way to set your timing. And this works for basically, I don't care what you got. As long as you know where number 1's at on the rotor, you can mark it on the distributor. You know which one is number 1 on the engine, if it's over there or over here, and find your timing marks. Roll the engine over till you feel the compression, and then bring it on around, and you're set to go. Alright, thanks for watching. Give me a like, give me a share, subscribe, whatever. Maybe next time I'll have something you'll be more interested in, like the joys of body work.